So you just started playing DBD and you load into Toba Landing. Everything looks the same other than a giant main building. You're the last man standing and the map sounds like a horde of cicadas having a blowout. How can you find Hatch if you can't hear it and you keep getting lost? No worries, I've mapped out Toba Landing with some nice landmarks to help you lock down that hatch. First off, let me give you a little navigation help. I did make a map myself that includes some landmarks to help everyone navigate. There will be a second one highlighting where the hatch spawns. You can go ahead and pause and snapshot this bad boy if you want to. Otherwise, I went ahead and threw a copy of it up on Patreon. I don't like to put things behind a paywall, so it's free. Obviously, if you want to throw some money in my hatch, you're more than welcome, but times are tough, so I made sure it's free. Download it, share it, cherish it. Make a copy, put it on your nightstand. That's right, Toba Landing is always here for you. Now, I'm not great at making things look pretty, so just a quick go over here for everyone. In the top left and bottom right, there are two pictures. Those would be our big honking plant friend, Audrey 3, and the car tree, which swap back and forth between those two locations. The empty boxes are the full-walled jungle gyms, not the half-wall ones with the red plants. Shack and main are both labeled, and the little gray sections with lines are the stairs that you can see outside of the building. Some things that I want to call attention to for those of you who scream at their GPS every time it tells you to go north and you just want to know if you're going left or right out of the McDonald's, I am going to be referring to sections as top, bottom, front, and back. For Toba Landing, the bottom of the map is Shack, and the top of the map is just beyond the tip of Main. If you're looking at Main and can't see Shack because everything is covered in vines and pulsating fleshy shafts, then turn your beady little eyes towards the shape of Main. It's kind of an L shape, but if you have a problem with determining where you are, consider looking at Main as a well-hung man. We have the head up here with the little mohawk, some Dwayne Johnson-sized pecs right here, and the main package with the dingleberries down below. The back end is a backpack, i.e. the little porch with stairs. When in doubt, follow the dingleberries down to Shack. If you struggle with that, then I also noted that this little divot path underneath Main is always near top of the map, so if you need to go to Shack, turn back away from the wall that you can see from the divot and follow Main back down to Shack. I'm also going to mention map callouts, so if you prefer to use the hens map, then I've got you covered, baby. Link to those maps in the description. Anyway, with that out of the way, I went ahead and loaded in and out of Toba Landing 50 times. So you don't have to. Let's start out with our biggest hatch spawning area, which would be the area in the top left where Audrey 3 or the car tree appears. That will be that corner between 10 and 11 for those of you using callouts. I got a whopping 8 out of 50 hatch spawns up there, so odds are pretty good for that specific location. The next biggest hatch spawn is Shack with 7 total spawns. 2 are right against the outside wall facing the front of the map, 2 spawned on the back wall, 2 spawned a meter or 2 away from the top of Shack that faces Main, and then there was one random one that spawned a meter or 2 on the top left hand side close to 7 o'clock. So when you check Shack, make sure you do a wide arc. The next area spawned hatch 5 out of 50 spawns and was out in the front of Main towards the top of the map. It's just south of 1 and 2 for the clock callouts. There's a rock out there that looks kind of like a ramp. Go past the ramp and there's either a tiny wall or a vault point. Beyond that is the hatch spawn. Next up we have the area right beside the little backpack of Main. I had a total of 4 spawns very close to the railing. 1 was in plain view and the other 3 were inside some shrubbery. If you're facing the back half of the map, take the stairs to your right and the shrubbery should be right there. If you do clock callouts, head out of Main going towards 9 and 10 and you should see it there. Another location with 4 spawns is right of Shack at 6 o'clock. There is a little bundle of rocks between Shack and the jungle gym and that's where you'll find it. Near that, between Main and 4 o'clock, is the next highest number of spawns. For those who need a landmark, if you stand on the dingleberry stairs here and look majestically to the bottom right, you'll see a rock that looks like it's midway through flipping you off. Right next to that rock is the magic spawn point where I had another 4 out of 50 spawns. Moving along, each of the full-walled jungle gyms had 3 spawns each. That would be 3, 5, and 9 for our call-out people. For the non-call-out people, if you head straight out of the backpack of Main, you'll run into one of the jungle gyms. The other 2 are on either side of Aubrey 3 or the car tree in that bottom right corner. Between the jungle gyms on the front right of the map is a little clearing where hatch spawned 3 times. For our call-out folks, we're looking at 4 o'clock. Next, if you remember that divot path that I mentioned earlier near the top of Main, it spawned 3 times on the front side of the path near 1 o'clock. The other spawn at the top of the map is top left outside of Main between 11 and 12 o'clock with 3 hatch spawns. Finally, I had 2 hatch spawns pop up right at the base of the dingleberry stairs, which would be bottom Main for the call-out folks. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up my heat map where things spawn, with the dark blue being heavy spawns and getting lighter as fewer spawns appear. Again, feel free to snap that up from my Patreon or screenshot it here for your own use. I'll also drop my call-out map that I was was using to mark the spawns. I know my handwriting looks like it was made by a drunk toddler, but I promise I'm an adult. I will say that other than the Audrey 3/car tree spawn on the back half of the map, if you want the highest rate of success, you probably want to prioritize searching the front of the map. 27 total spawns were at the front, and that excludes Shack. If you got hatch spawns somewhere else on the map, leave a comment and help other people find it. Good luck out there, kids.